Hi, this is Marlooms Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to create the luggage or suitcase on a single loom. I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this to come out on the loom, the single version, and so here it is. For today, you're going to need to choose the color that you want your luggage to be. You can choose a single color, or you can choose to use multicolored. You have to choose the color that you want your handle to be, and for today I'm just going to use the gray and then the color that I want the top to be, which is going to be black for the handle. And then you need to decide what color you want your luggage zipper to be. Over here I have chosen black, and this one as well, and then on this one I chose white. So just decide what color you want your zipper to be and this part of the handle. And once you have decided that, you can gather, it's about, I'd say 150 for the blue for both pieces of the luggage. So of one color it is at least 150, and I did not count how many blacks you will need because I just grabbed a bunch and put it in the little container that I had. It's not many blacks. And I am using large pony beads for the wheels of the luggage. If you do not own a pony bead, then when we get to that part I will show you what to do. You can use black bands and I will show you how to make a wheel, and maybe if you even have pearly beads you can use pearly beads, but for today I will be using large pony beads. So for today I will say that this design is going to be in the straight configuration. It is a single loom, but it does need to be set up in the straight configuration. So gather your supplies, the color of your handle, if you want it two-tone you can do that, the color of your luggage, and if you have beads, gather 4 beads, and then the color of your zipper. And then we will get started. Once you have gathered your main color of your luggage, what you're going to do is make sure that your loom is set up in the straight configuration, and you're going to gather 2 bands at a time, and you're going to place 2 on these 2 bands and 2 on these 2 right here. And then we're just going to continue to do that, and we're going to go down this side 6 times. And then you're going to do the same in the middle. Just make sure that when you place your bands that they are lying neatly. And then on this side, so you're just going to go down 6 times on each side, on each row. Now you're going to push this row all the way down. Make sure it's at the very bottom, and you can do every row if you want to, but it's mostly this one is important because we're overlapping. And on that same row, again, grabbing 2 bands at a time, you're going to make a row above it, overlapping on top of it. And so I placed 2, I'm going to place another 2, and then another 2. And then the final 2. So now we have the bottom row and the top row. So now we are going to add our extensions, and this is when we do need the wheels. So what you're going to do is, if you don't have beads, you're going to grab 2 black bands, and place them on, take 2 black bands and wrap them around your hook 4 times, like that. And then you're going to grab 2 orange bands, or the color that you want the bottom part of your wheel. This is the wheel, and then I have that attached to 2 black bands. So if you want that color to be different, you can do that too. So I'm going to just transfer, I would transfer this onto either 2 orange bands or 2 black bands. So remember, these are the wheels and then this is just the band. So you would transfer that on here. And that is your wheel. And then you would do that again, and that would make your other wheel. So you would make, altogether you need 4 of these, but we only need 2 for now because this is one piece. But for today I'm going to be using beads, and my bead is large enough that it fits on my hook. If yours is not, you can still, it should be big enough that 2 bands should slide right through there with no problems. So you should be able to just push them through. But what I do is I just take my hook and I grab 2 orange bands, and I'm able to place the bead on there. So you're going to need to do this with 2 beads. You now grab 2 orange bands, and you're going to stretch these out just a little bit, not too much, and place it on these 3 pegs right here. And then grab another 2 bands, and you're only placing them on these 2 right here. And you're going to do that all the way to the top. So 2 on these 2, 2 on these 2, on these, and on these. Now you're going to place your wheel. Actually, I'm going to switch that. So the wheel goes right here. I was going to switch the color, but I'll just leave that. That one wheel goes here, and then the other wheel goes on the other side. What we're going to do now is you're going to take this band right here and bring it over that middle peg right here. So it's this band here, bring it up and over. Now you're going to reach in here where the wheel is, and you are going to be grabbing the first 2 set of bands right here. There's the bottom set and there is the top set. You're going to reach in, and make sure when you reach in you are also pushing back these bands. So push back those bands, and then grab the top 2, and once you know for sure that you have them, you are going to bring it to the peg above. And now you're going to reach in here, and you're pushing this band back and grabbing just the top 2 as well. You're just looping the first row, and this row. The bottom row does not get touched. Again, pushing this band back when you enter the peg, grabbing the top 2 orange bands and looping forward. And the same, push back, grab the top 2, loop forward. And loop forward, and then the same on here, and loop forward. And now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this layer that we place on here and place it on the outside of our loom. So hold on to this peg so that these bands don't pop off, and you're going to take your finger and you're going to pop this off like this, but make sure that this stays on. You don't want this to come off. Pop it and place it to the outside. And the same here, pop, place to the outside. And all of these circles the peg should be inside like that. And pop and place it outside. So you should have place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the outside. This remains on your hook, on your peg, and this remains on your peg. And you can pull on it to make sure you've done it correctly. And once you have done that, now we're going to grab more orange bands. Grab 2 and place them on these 3 pegs right here. Another 2 on these 3. 2 on these 3. 2 on these 3. And 2 on these 3. And now we're going to enter this peg right here. So you should have placed 2 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And now you're going to reach in here, and again pushing the wheels back, and you're going to be grabbing the only bands that we have here. We didn't have an overlapping bands over here. So, but make sure that when you enter this peg that you are also pushing this band back. So push that band back, and once you have all the bands, then you're going to grab the bottom 2 and loop forward, which was this one. If you don't loop that correctly, this one will come off. And now you're going to take this band right here and bring it up and loop it to the peg above. So we loop this one, and now we're going to re-enter this peg, and we're going to be looping the last 2 bands in there. Reach in, grab these 2, and loop that forward. So now the bottom part of the luggage is complete. Now you're going to reach in and just loop the bottom bands forward. So we loop this one, push all these bands back and loop forward. So we loop this whole row. Now we're going to do the next. And make sure when you enter each peg that you push these bands back and then grab the bottom. And the same here. Now we're entering this one. Once you have reached the very top, you're going to take your hook, grab these 2, bring it to the middle, grab these 2, and also bring it to the middle peg. And then you're going to grab 2 bands that match your luggage. Take your hook, go through all the bands, pull this through, place both loops onto your hook, and then create that slip knot. And then just take your luggage off, but do not, I suggest not tearing it off. So that's one part of the luggage, and this is what yours should look like. And then we are going to, you can take this band right here on the other side, this loop, and bring your wheel over, or bring it over the wheel. On this side too. And now it sits better. And now we have to make the other side, and then we stitch them together, but the other side is going to be the one that has the handle attached to it. So then we have to make the handle. So this is just one part. So now we're going to do the same exact thing. So make 2 more wheels, or grab 2 more beads, and we're going to start over. So let me make the handle with you first, that way we already have it, And to make the handle, first choose the color that you want your handle to be, and I'm just going to use Rainbow Loom's dark gray. And what I do is I place, you can either do it by hand or you can do it on the loom. You can take I'm going to take the black bands first to show you. Take a single black band, wrap it around itself, and place it on any two pegs. It doesn't matter. Take another single black and place it from here to here. And the black part is going to be this part right here, the handle part. So if you want that to be a different color, then now's your chance to change that color. And do that again, a single wrapped around itself, and then a single wrapped around itself. So now the handle, the actual long part I do by hand because I feel like when I do it on the loom it comes out crooked. What I do is I take a single band and I wrap it around my hook 3 times. Then I take another single and I twist it around itself, and I transfer those loops onto that band and then grab the other loop. And then I do that again, take another single, wrap it around itself, and pull it through, and grab the other loop. Alright, that came out. So let's do that over. Pull it through, grab the loop. Again, a single wrapped around itself, pull it through, grab the loop. And on this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4. So one more. And then after the band that we wrapped around 3 times, we did 4 links. After the 4th link, you take the band that matches this part, which is the black, wrap it around itself, slide it through, and again, a single band wrapped around itself, and slide it through. And what we have created here, in case you're confused, is this is the gray part, and then the black part to go to the handle. So then you're going to take this piece that we made and you're going to place it on the second peg right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pegs. You're placing on the second. Just leave that like that. And we're going to do that same thing again. Take the single band, wrap it around your hook 3 times. Take a single, wrap it around itself, transfer these onto that, and grab the loop. That's 2. 3, 4. And you can do this on your loom, but I noticed that when it's done on the loom and you pull it off, it comes out twisted. So that's the 4th one. Then take a single black or the color that you have chosen for your handle, and you do that 2 times. And then this one is going to go on this one right here. And then you're going to take a single black band and wrap it around this peg 4 times. And then once you have placed your handle on the second and the 4th peg, you're going to reach under that cap, bring the bottom 2 bands forward, and loop forward. Then you're going to reach in here, grab the bottom 2, and loop forward. Loop this one. Reach in here, push everything back, grab the bottom 2, loop forward. And then you can take a single band and you can pull it through these 2 bands right here and create a slip knot. And then you can take your handle off slowly And this is your handle. And you can just adjust. I place my hook through the loops and then adjust it. And that's what yours is going to look like, and then we can always hide this loop at the end. So now let's make the other part of the luggage, and it's the same thing as the other one. We're going to begin with 2 orange bands here, 2 here, but what makes this one different is that we're adding the handle. And you're going to go down 6 times again on each row. Do the same in the middle. Sorry for the crinkling. Okay, so I have placed 6 bands going down each row, and I'm just going to push everything down, especially this row because this is where we add the extension. But before we add the extension, we're going to add our handle. So take your handle and take your hook and go through the loop and place 1 loop here in the middle, and the other, make sure you're grabbing all 3 loops onto your hook, and then the other loop goes right here. And now we are going to add the other row. So take 2 bands and we're going to overlap over here, facing 2, and this is what I mean. Place 2 there, and then place another 2, another 2, and the last 2. Now again, grabbing 2 bands at a time, stretching it just a little bit, and placing it over these 3, and then grabbing your wheel the way I showed you how to make before, and you would just take your band and you would do the same thing that I do with the bead, but you would place yours right here. I'm just going to grab my bead and my wheel will go right here. And the same with my other wheel, right over here. Again, take this band right here, bring it over this peg right here. And now to place the cap bands or holding bands, you take 2 bands and just place it on those 2. Place it on these 2, on these 2, and those 2. Now we're going to reach in where the wheel is, and you're going to make sure you push back all the bands that are holding the wheel and these right here. So reach in, push all that back, and grab, sorry my hand's in the way, you're grabbing the first set of bands, not the second set, and once you have grabbed those, you're going to bring them forward. So you should have a remaining set of bands left on the bottom. And then you're going to reach in here, push this back, grab the top 2, and loop forward. Reach in here, grab the top two, move forward, reach here, always making sure you push those two back, grab the top two, and like we did before, take your hand and just cover this peg to make sure it doesn't pop off. And I like to place my finger underneath and I just pop it off to the side. And see, that is incorrect, the way that's laying there. You want to make sure that it's inside, the peg goes inside the bands. And the same here. And I'm going to fix that because that's not right. And if that happens to you, you can just take your hook and put it back on. So it looks like that. And then finally the last one. Pop it off and place it to the outside. So this whole row should be in the outside. This part should definitely still be on your peg, and this one too. Now grabbing two bands again, place two bands on these three, and on these three, and if any of you are thinking like, why does she place two bands instead of one? I just like the way it makes the luggage a lot thicker. I tried it with one band and I didn't like the way it looked, and so that's why I do that. So now we place two bands on each three of the pegs all the way to here, not the top row. We didn't do anything to these three. And then you're going to reach in here, push back the bands that are holding the wheel, and also push back these bands, and then just grab the bottom two. If you get confused, you should probably turn your loom to the side so you can get a better angle of what you're doing. And once you have looped that forward, you're going to grab these and loop it forward. And then over here, reach in and just grab the remaining two bands on the bottom and loop that forward. And then you're going to reach into this peg, grab the bottom two, loop forward. Same here. Push everything back until you see the two bands and loop forward. Same here. We're at this peg. So we loop this whole row right here, 1, 2, 3, doing this one. And loop these three. Something broke. And these are rainbow loom bands. Go figure. Not happy. It is what it is. And we loop these three and now these three. And once you have reached the top and looped all these, and make sure you have teardrop shape, then you're going to reach in here and be careful because we have the band that holds the handle, and push back everything, but make sure you grab the bottom two orange bands and you're going to bring it to this peg right here, and then grab these two and bring that to the middle as well. And then you're going to grab two orange bands, especially two because one seemed to pop for me before. Take your hook and go through all these bands right here. Pull two bands through and come up, and make sure you're still holding to the other one. And then pull on the handle, and you're going to go in underneath, and you're going to grab the other two that are in the back that you're holding on to, and you're going to bring that forward. So that when we create the slip knot, it's underneath the handle and not on top of it. Then you can create your little slip knot. and pull this off. I'm very disappointed that my band popped. It's a good thing that I do use 2 bands, and it's probably why I do that, because since one popped, it shouldn't make a difference, too much of a difference. So now here's the other piece of the luggage. And we will hide that. And we will also hide this part. So what you're going to do is you're going to figure out what part do you like, what side do you like better. And if you want to hide that, then that would be the inside of your luggage. So I'm going to show this side of the luggage. This will be facing me. And then you're going to put the 2 pieces together. And once you are satisfied with the side that's facing you, so this is facing me, and then the back will be obviously the back of the luggage. And I can always hide that slip knot later. Then you're going to start stitching. I'm just going to hide this here so it doesn't get in my way during stitching. Pull that down just to get it out of the way. So I'm going to put them together, make sure they're even, and you're going to now choose the color that you want your strap or zipper of your luggage to be, and I'm going to just go with black. And what you do is you take your hook, and while your luggage is together, there are 2 bands here, not the middle 2. The middle 2 are the horizontal bands that we use to place the luggage together, to keep it together. So these 2 bands, that's the first set, and then there's these 2 bands. These 2 inner bands are the ones we're always going to be grabbing. So we grab these 2 on this side, and then these 2 on this side. And once you have done that, you take a single black band and you pull it through, and everything is breaking. And try that again. Take a single black band and you're going to pull it through, and you're going to leave always a band on your finger and the other on the hook. So it's going to be like this, and then you're going to take your hook and snag the other 2 on this side and the other 2 orange on that side. Once you have grabbed 2 oranges, or 4, 2 and 2, then you will place that black band on there. Then you're going to do that again. Grab another black band and you're going to slide it through, and it's supposed to go through all those bands. Again, the band is on my finger and on my hook, and I'm going to grab 2 bands here and 2 inner bands here. Then place the black band. And that is your zipper. Again, another black band. Slide it through. Grab and make sure that you're grabbing the 2 in. See, for me it's only 1 now because that 1 broke, so that's going to annoy me. So it's 1 here, but it should be 2 for you, and 2 here. Grab another single, slide it through, grab 2 bands here, and 2 here, and then place the black band. And yours should start looking like that, like a stitch. Slide it through. And on the top it's going to be a little messy because of how we tied it off, so just what I do is I just make sure that I'm grabbing any 2 from here and any 2 from here. As long as you're grabbing 2 from the back one and the front one, you'll be fine. And then grab another single black, slide it through all those bands. Again, same thing here, just grab any 2. It's not exact. And any 2. slide your band through, any two here, and any two here. Once we go back to the side, then it's going to be easier to figure out what's what. Slide it through, and now we're back to grabbing actual bands that are on the side. So you can grab these two and these two. Slide the black, grab these and these, these two and these two, these, and these two. So it's just repeating the pattern. Grab another, slide it through, and you can grab the remaining two that are just the bottom and place it like that. So you should be finished with your stitch. It should look like that. And then how I end it is, you can end it with an orange band if you want. That way it will match the actual luggage and it won't stand out. So grab a single, slide it through, and then you can create a slip knot and then hide that in the inside of the luggage. You can just take your hook, grab some bands inside, and pull it through. If you're using jelly bands, I suggest maybe using an S-clip, because jelly bands are slippery and you don't want your stitch to come undone. So this is what your luggage should look like so far. And what I do to give it that puffy look is I stuffed mine with cotton balls or pom-poms or whatever I can find. You can actually even stuff bands inside. It really depends on what you want. I just stuffed, you don't have to stuff it either, I just like that puffy look. And it just made it look more like a luggage being that way. As far as the handle, if it's curving, just try to fix it. So what I did with this, obviously, is you can go through here and grab those two bands. This is the slip knot. You can use that as a charm if you want, but you don't have to, because the actual handle to the luggage can serve as that as well. So I'm just going to grab these and trying to pull them into the actual luggage. So there, they're hidden. And then the handle, I go through those two loops right here, and I just continue to take that single slip knot and pull it through. And I just made another slip knot. Then you can do that again. You just go through it like this, grab the band, pull it down, grab the loop before it's tied off, and just make another slip knot. And then eventually that little knot gets hidden and you can't see it. So, and if it bothers you, you can pull it through the back, and just, it's a matter of just fiddling with it if it frustrates you and you don't want it to look like that. So mine is hidden now and you can't even tell. So this is what that one looks like. And once you get more comfortable with the design, you can do multicolored and choose whatever color you want for your handle and for your wheels. And this is the single loom, and this is actually the double loom. This is two looms and this is single loom. You can barely even tell the difference. One's maybe a little thicker, but you can pull on this and it's the same thing. And I really hope you enjoyed this design. And if you did, show me on Instagram on #MarloomsCreations, or you can even show me on Facebook. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.